Longo is really one of the most underrated, underappreciated trainers ever. Ray Longo's got 4 trainers, four champions out of neighborhood kids. Merab, we pretty much adopted. But, you know, Aljo, myself, Chris Weidman, we're all in adjoining neighborhoods in Long Island. So for Ray Longo to take fucking, I know I switched to Longo. Just like I did when I won the title. I gave the mic to that fucking Sopranos fucking extra. And you know what I mean? So, no, I like to break Longo's balls.
No, I mean, but you guys just made Merab the 135-pound champ. And Merab is an incredible friend of the Jackson podcast. He came on multiple times.
Love Merab. How could you not love Merab?
Oh, bro.
He's exactly what you
Him and Rampage celebrated at a Mexican restaurant one time. I saw Merab on Rampage's shoulders, dude. I thought I was watching a mariachi band play.
Yeah, he thought Merab was Mexican when he first met him. Though.
Yeah.
He could play that role.
He walked in, he said,
put him in a poncho and a hat. He does.
Yes. It up. And isn't he the nicest guy in the world?
The sweetest guy.
You trained him?
Yes. I when he showed up in Long Island, he got first together with some knuckleheads. Now, look, man, there's guys from New York where you'll look at them and you'll be like, oh, okay, these are the typical guys that I see on the shows that these are the douchebag New Yorkers. Okay. So he's got set up with some fucking jerk-offs. And these guys thought they had their hooks in on him. And then one day he runs into Longo and at Henzo Gracie's for something. Henzo was down there for there might have been something for the UFC. He was down there with Weidman. And it was him and this other buddy of his, David, who fought my guy Eddie Truck Gordon, who's a great guy. And Eddie beat this guy, this big guy, David, who's a sweetheart too. And they said, listen, come down to Longo's. Longo invited him down. He ended up coming down to Longo's. And we have a thing with our fight team where the guys do a lot of the sparring and the stand-up over at Longo's. They come to my place 2 or 3 days a week and work with my jiu-jitsu guys. And it's a fucking shark tank over there. So they get guys rolling with them that will never take a punch, but they're just expert at taking the limbs off. So they get the best of both worlds. And most of the guys that we have, the guys that we made champions, came with a wrestling background. Merab had Sambo and Judo, Aljo wrestling, Ali Quinta wrestling, Chris Weidman fucking A wrestling. And then they had the striking with Longo, the jiu-jitsu with me. It was a nice fucking well-oiled machine what we had there, you know? And so when Merab came over, yeah, he fit in right away. And he didn't speak a lick of English. When I started cornering him, it was myself to the left, to the right is Longo, in the middle is his friend Boris, this like middle-aged fucking Georgian guy. He's a sweetheart, nervous guy. Merab, we had to coach him. Merab didn't speak English. So we're telling him, even in the corner, we're telling him what to tell Merab. So when I see, it's amazing. It's amazing. I just did this speech. If you look on my Instagram, there's me talking in front of my school when Merab just visited last week with the belt. And I did this, I'm telling the same story I'm telling now. So, he went from that and then he started fighting on the local circuit where he's not getting at a mount from a purple belt and he lost the fight that way. And he lost another fight. Then he walked away for like almost a year doing construction. Then he came back. And then he worked on, that guy's hard work is just an understatement. The work this kid puts in is just ridiculous. Now you get to the point where a fucking Olympian, Henry Cejudo, can't hold him down. You understand?
Yeah, so that shocked a lot of people.
The work that he put in is just amazing. And the fact that he did it with Aljo, and then, they wanted them to fight. And this is the type of guy this is, because there's not many guys on the planet, that are saying, all right, you can make life-changing money. Because it sounds funny. Sounds funny to say it up in this bitch, but it's not all about the money, people. But it's, Merab.
It's not, though. It's really not.
It's really not, man.
It's not.
Merab went, because he had a couple of tough calls in his first 2 UFC outings.
Yeah.
Frankie Size, which was not a very nice guy, but it was a robbery. Merab should have won that fight. I don't often say that because fights that are close, I'd say, hey, dude, watch that fight. And then the other one was a little controversial because he was beating Ricky Simone, and then it ended with him in the guillotine. He made it to the bell. Then when the bell was over, he was like a little out of it, and it was one of those things. So we had to go to Russia with him 0-2 in the UFC. And he hasn't lost since. He won in Russia. First guy to ever win a fight in Russia in the UFC. He was on a prelim. First fight ever in Russia in the UFC. He won. Hasn't lost since. And then he gets, and then his buddy's got the best friend, Aljamain Sterling, has the bantamweight belt. So what does he do? He has now Aljo, dude, there's a reason why he has the success. And Aljo's a big part of it. Aljo's a fucking beast. The sparring sessions they had alone is just, it could be fight of the night, you know? So he knows he helped make him the machine, no pun intended, he is now. So now, you know, listen, if you have everybody saying it, you're a fool if you don't take this. He said, no, he's not doing it. He'll beat everybody else, but whoever you want to give him. He's not fighting his best friend. And now look how it worked out. Not only did he stick to his principles, he you know, his character did not get fucking, he didn't have to fucking bend the knee. Yeah. And now he's a champion. His best friend still was a champion. Fuck, man, Aljo could be a champion at 145. He's doing well.